Okay, well, I will be talking about my personal review of the Elder Scrolls Online. Hopefully, it won't overtax my computer like it just did when I tried to do a review before, so I'm going to try my best to stay out of... Oh, that didn't work out. Yeah, this isn't going to go well, I don't think. Well, to pretty much sum up what I was going to say, to do a review for Elder Scrolls Online, you actually have to do it as one of two things. You have to review it as an MMO. You have to do it as a Elder Scrolls game, and honestly, you also have to do it as is it interesting enough to keep people playing as a pay-to-play game, which it is. As an MMO, I'm not really big on MMOs, so I'm not really one to do a review. I've played a couple of them and kind of lost interest in them fairly quickly. So for that, I'm not really sure how I can judge that. But I can say that it's actually a fun game in its own right. But as an Elder Scrolls game, it lacks a lot. Elder Scrolls is known for having open world exploration. This one was really limited. I mean, you're stuck in a zone, and that zone is not cram-packed full of stuff that you can take advantage of for exploration-wise, or things that you can find, various different situations like that. It doesn't exist. It's massive enough that you have to have some kind of mount, and buying a horse is ridiculously expensive. I mean, it's something like 17,000 gold, and when you first start out, if you're playing this game, you'll know that when you first start out, every mob that you kill might not drop gold, and those that do will only drop one. I'm currently, as you can see, it's Veteran 1 area. At most, I'm expecting them to drop is 5 gold, and this is a Veteran level. So how can you expect them to actually have some kind of large monetary-based system in the game when you're not giving anyone the money? Also, the lack of an auction house, that also affects this pretty badly too. I mean, how do you expect anything to happen when you don't have any money for that to happen with? You really do need to have an auction house for players, or otherwise you're going to be spamming zone chat. And I'm pretty sure if I left this place, you'd start seeing some zone chat. So let's get out of here so I can show that. Another thing, as an MMO, well, not MMO, but is it fun to play? At times, yes. At other times, it kind of reminds me of walking simulators like Daisy. I know, I'm a fan of Daisy. I know it's pretty much a lot of walking, a lot of running around until you get like a vehicle or whatever. But in this, it's just load screens and walking and some fighting in between, and maybe you might find other things. But at least they've allowed the ability to have mods into the game. As you can see, my current heads-up display is not the typical Elder Scrolls heads-up display. It's an actual mod. And when I was fighting, you were seeing scrolling words on it. That's also another mod. I actually have 4 of them running right now, and as you can see on the side chat, people are already selling things, or wanting to buy and wanting to sell things. But yeah, see, book locations, Sky Shard locations, those are 2 mods right there. I mean, look at this. There's almost nothing in this area right here. There might be quests, but there's nothing worth checking out here. All the Sky Shards are up here, or around here, or down here. All the books are all through this section right here, this area. And this is the Daggerfall area. And like I said, as a veteran, I'm currently working in one of the 2 different areas that you can get veteran standing in. This is the area I've already been through, so I've cleared out all this already anyway, except for some of the group dungeons. Pretty much as an Elder Scrolls game, it fails on a lot of points, but it succeeds in a lot of points. I don't know why I'm losing frame rates. As you see, there is things to explore, and look, if I didn't know that that marker was there, I wouldn't know that there was a quest right there. That's another issue. And the markers, yeah, they're good because of the fact that you wouldn't know if any quests were nearby or anything like that. As for these glowing things like this is for crafting. Jeez, this thing sucks.
Hey, you. Want to make a bit of... Stranger, a word. You look like the courageous type. I have an opportunity. You're sober, aren't you? Good. Are you interested in taking on a contract?
As you can tell, there's voice acting for everything. Sometimes the voice acting works, sometimes it doesn't. I don't know. The game is still kind of buggy even after a month. There are still problems. Things are still broken. A lot of the achievements are still broken. Let me show you. I've already completed everything that can possibly be completed for the Ebonheart pack. So let me see if I can. Quests, Ebonheart pack. These 3. There is no possible way that I can't have these 3 already. There is none. I've already become the King's Arrow, I've already saved the Skull King, and I've already completed Giant's Friend. I've done all 3 of these, and it indicates that I have yet to do them. But I've already done them. As for the Shadowfen quests, I'm pretty sure a lot of the quests that were broken were taken down so that people wouldn't use them yet, for trying to fix them, or I have no idea. But when I went to go look for one quest that I had started on one character and I haven't started with this one, it wasn't there anymore. So I'm not sure as to whether they're taking down quests to try to fix them, or they're just taking down the ones that are just broken beyond repair or something like that. If that's the case, then they really need to fix the achievements to work with that, otherwise you won't get them. That needs to be fixed. With the Sky Shards, as you can see, I've gotten a lot of those because I have that one certain task. Let me see if I can show you. So see, like this one, east of the whatever the hell that is, that is one for Cold Harbor. There is no way that you'd be able to find all of these for Cold Harbor without some kind of map that tells you where they all are. It's just not possible, because a lot of them will be in dungeons, a lot of them will be out in the middle of nowhere. Some of them are in places that you'd have to go so far out of your way to get to, it's almost not worth it. I've never gotten any of the fishing ones, so I don't even try. They do have ones for exploration, but as you can see, get killed by slaughterfish. That is one of the ones. That is going to be the stupidest achievement you'll ever find. It's pretty much just swim out as far as you can into the ocean and let the fish kill you. And then spawn back in just with degraded armor. That's it. Another one would be this. That is because I have gotten everything for Pack Cave Explorer. So that's it. I've explored all the caves in each of the different system areas, whatever. Dungeons, the only ones that will show you are this one, these ones, because they're group dungeons, and you can get actually skill points out of group dungeons. I haven't yet to do any of the veteran ones yet because I don't have enough people that I can do veteran dungeons with yet. The general ones, I'm not sure how you even get any of these general ones. I mean, buy a drink in Daggerfall. What's the point in that? Buy a drink in Davin's Watch? What drink? So it's ridiculous, some of these achievements they have on this. That's just no point. And what is the achievement point system? What can you get with that? There is no explanation for this. But the one thing that this game doesn't fail on is the crafting system. At least with that, they got right. So let me bring up my map, and I can show you that crafting system that they have going on. Because I have some things currently in the process of being researched, and some things that are not researched yet, and some that are. So I'll show some of the crafting system, because that's one of the things that they actually succeeded on. That was a good one. The combat system is also good. As you saw, I was having to react to them hitting me, or I had to block at certain points, or certain attacks, things like that, or I could take a lot of damage. That's something that you need to be aware of in this kind of a game, because getting to the point where you don't figure this kind of stuff out will get you killed. Easy. It's one of those situational awareness types of games.
Work isn't going to do itself.
Where is it? Of course, on the other side of town. I got the Imperial Edition, so I did cop out and spend more money and get that. So I got a horse for 1 gold. Yeah. If you want a cheap horse, you had to spend $20 for the Imperial Edition to get a horse from the very start. It's kind of stupid. But I do have the Imperial class, but this is not the Imperial class. Jeez, where am I now? Why aren't things loading in? That's another problem I've been noticing a lot too, is some things won't load in. Oh, there we go. Alright, well, I have actually reached clothing station. As you see, I have all these different kinds of materials that I can use to craft. This is the section for research. You can actually see I got all these that are researchable right now, because I have that stuff in my inventory. So if I wanted to, I can get all these unlocked. But right now it would take me 3 days, 14 hours, and 24 minutes. That's after I've reduced it by 20%. Seriously, this is reduced by 20%. So as you see, I got a lot of stuff that needs to be worked on, some stuff that isn't. 3 days, 19 hours, things like that. I think I might, after this is done, it will be up to something like 7 days and something like that. 7 days, something that hours. It'll be around like 8 days long. It's 8 days for something to be researched, which will increase some kind of aspect of the armor. It's really not worth it in the end, but it does give you a lot of experience points. And right now I'm at 24. I need to be at least 25 to be able to craft the stuff that I need for my current level. So I'm kind of stuck doing that. As for the blacksmith, you get things like this.
Did you hear? A stranger saved King Casimir's life.
And unfortunately I need 3 more inventory slots to be open anyway.
Who was it? Any idea?
But you have all these. This is the basic one that it's what you can make. Nothing changed on it. But this one I found or was awarded or something like that. Then there's the green one. That's the next. That's the upgraded version of some of the weapons. This one's a rank 1 weapon, which I can use. And this one, I think it's like the epic. I don't know. Let me check. Yeah, that's an epic class. Next one would have been legendary.
Some stranger saved King Casimir's life.
In this, I can break down weapons to learn how they're constructed, increase my knowledge of gear. Again, same kind of situation for that. It's like that for all the crafting except for, I think, alchemy and stuff like that. Anytime that you're going to take up something, focus solely on some kind of class. I don't care how much it is, because inventory management. Let me show you. This is the inventory I have. I have 100 item slots, 99 of them are filled. It's a nightmare. Nightmare to have this kind of inventory management.
Did you hear?
If
Some
they added a
stranger said
weight
King
to
Casimir's
things
life.
and they made it so that you would become over encumbered and slow down, unable to run,
was
things
it?
like that.
Any
Like
idea
in
where
all the
the
Elder
stranger
Scrolls
came
games
from?
that have
I'll
had
buy
that,
hero an A.
it would be more closely tied to the Elder Scrolls games. Not this kind of nightmarish inventory thing that's completely outdated for all MMOs that are coming out. This is the kind of thing that they could have been innovated with, but they didn't do that. They failed at that. But at least they have some kind of inventory management system like this. But I would have liked to have seen something more along the lines of Sky UI. Some of those mods that came out for
Did you
Skyrim, if they
hear?
had paid attention
Some
to that, they
stranger
would have
said King
known what
Casimir's
people
life.
wanted. As it is, I kind of had to go to hit a bank and
Who
drop
was it?
off stuff anyway.
Any idea
There is a
where
bank
the stranger
system,
came
and
from?
it is for
I'd like to buy
every
that
one of your
hero an
characters.
A.
It is account locked unless you're doing a guild, unless you have like a guild bank for that. Let's see. Not that one because that one's pretty much dying out and not doing anything with it. But yeah, this is the address. This is also TeamSpeak is right up there. See the Game Horizon, blah blah blah. So that's how I have that guild set up. This one is one that I joined up. It's actually
Did you
doing
hear?
fairly well.
Some stranger saved King Casimir's
But
life.
yeah, let me show you. It's got a roster, got the ranks, and history. So
Any
you got
idea where the
banks,
stranger came from?
you got the sales
I'll
log,
buy
and the
that hero
campaign.
an A.
Right now, this guild itself isn't doing any like large-scale campaigning, so it's more or less dungeon raids and stuff like that. And let me say something. Everyone complains about the system for adding friends in and things like that, going out and parties, and the party system is atrocious. It is the most god-awful system you will ever find. Even when you're partying with your friends in the same dungeon, it won't work half the time. I think at one point we had to disband the party, take the quest individually, leave the dungeon, reform the party outside the dungeon, have one person go in, and then everyone had to teleport onto that person in order for everyone to see each other before we could go on. It's a nightmare, seriously. And it's the only reason you need it is the party dungeon, is the group dungeons. There is no other reason you need to do anything like that, because you can share quests, but main story wise, you cannot use the party system for the main story. It's just outlandish how bad that is. And some of these bosses that you have to fight alone are just cheap as cheap can be. It's I mean, I have one character stuck fighting Manny Marco, and he's one of the main boss guys they had to fight, and it's just so bad. Also, Moloch Vault. You're supposed to fight something that has 353,000 health points. Yeah, you got a lot of, like boosts and things like that to your power and whatnot. But really, that 353 HP that he's got is useless. If you got the appropriate skills, you probably won't drop below 50% HP. Oh lord, what's this guy gonna do? Sometimes I get invited to different groups, sometimes I get invited to parties and things like that. It's really pointless. Yeah, so the grouping system, nightmarish. The game itself, not really an Elder Scrolls game. It's not. I mean, yeah, it's got the themes, it's got the locations and things like that. But I've played through Cyrodiil, and a lot of the locations in Cyrodiil I don't remember playing in Oblivion. And I played that recently. It might have something to do with the fact that, I don't know, they didn't match up anything or anything like that. Also, the locations for East March, not the same. The locations for Riften, god awfully not the same. Oh, they could have been so much closer to the source. I would have been happier if they had ported over the maps for East March and the Rift, brought them over to this game, and it had some kind of impassable boundary, like some kind of landslide or something like that, that made it so you can't go anywhere else into the other provinces. Also, I don't know what happened, but they erased an entire province. Let me see if I can show you that on the map. As you see, this is East March. I don't know what this island is up here. It did not exist before. Seriously, it didn't. Up here, somewhere up here should have been the Mages College. Up, like, this right here should be a whole different hole. Right up here. I think Windhelm should have been probably more around here, with some kind of inland rivers or things like that. But when you go into the map, it looks like that there's more that goes up, but you can't get to it. But when you go into this map, it goes all the way to the coastline. What is up with the map's inconsistency? And what's all this blank space right next to the Rift? This is the map for the Rift. Yeah, it looks kind of like it, but when you're playing through it, it's nothing the same. Let me show you something else. This road here, the one that leads out of, Windhelm and continues up this way, it should keep going through the mountains and over towards Whiterun, but it ends at a meadery that's over here. I don't know where this meadery came from. I remember there being a lumber mill over here, but again, it's like 1,200 years before the events of Skyrim, so it could have changed, but topography does not change that much. It's one of the things that has bugged me about this game, is the locations that you know and have traveled before, you will not know where you're going, where you are, or what's going on. As for, you know how they had the hot springs for East March? The hot springs are this small location right here. That's the hot springs. Yeah. In Skyrim, the hot springs went from this road all the way over to the river. That fort's still there, so I guess that's okay, but they call it something else. Up here should have been this huge cliff line that leads up to the Rift. It's not there. So the topography of the place is wrong. There's a lot of inconsistencies, and there's supposed to be an epic war raging, and the guards will say hello when you pass by them, when there's like some kind of back and forth fighting between them and some enemy. So as an MMO, it's actually kept my interest long enough that and the Elder Scrolls title itself has caused me to pay a monthly subscription, which I've never done before. So as an MMO, I'd probably give this like a 6 or a 7 out of 10. As an Elder Scrolls, I'd hate to say this, but at best it's a 6. And for the function of this game and just like the environments and things that you have to encounter with, I'll probably give that one a 6 as well, because there's just too much empty space. They could have filled it up with more stuff. They could have made it so that exploring was rewarded more, and made it so that the story itself wasn't just so linear, and that there was choices that mattered. I mean, there is one choice I made just today. It was destroy an ancient Iliad artifact or keep it for the Daggerfall Covenant. And this was at the end of the quest where it didn't really matter. You couldn't see what would happen. I chose to destroy it, and it just made the pirate crew unhappy with me. That's right, I was traveling with a pirate crew. that was unhappy that I destroyed something that the orcs wanted destroyed. Now, let me tell you about this item. It would rip the souls from people to power itself up. They wanted to use an item for the Daggerfall Covenant that would rip souls out to power it up to bring the dead back to life to fight as an army. Yeah, so I destroyed it. They were unhappy with me. The orcs were happy with me and joined the Daggerfall Covenant. I really haven't had to deal with those people anymore, so I don't know what's going to go on with that.
Hello there.
But as you can see, there are a lot of people on the screen. So yeah, the mega server itself, it's really good. But I wish they would fix things. And when I mean fix things, I mean like fix them and not just ignore the fact that they're broken. Wow. 500,000. Yeah. Good luck with that. That's another reason we need an auction house. There's no auction house. Yeah, so if you look at the side chat that's scrolling by, there's just nothing but I want to sell, I want to trade, and I want to buy. It's alright, I guess, but it gets annoying real fast. So, tell me what you think, rate, comment, and let me know. As you can tell, I am, well, probably you can't tell, so let me show the face. I'm playing as a wood elf character, so yeah. The only punishment for death in this game, sadly, is degradation to your gear. You don't lose experience, you don't lose anything like that. It's just the gear degrades a little bit and you take more damage. So keep that in mind. So if you want to buy it, I say buy it. Don't upgrade to the Imperial. It's not really worth it unless you want to play as an Imperial and have a really cheap horse, like everyone else does. Right now on the website, if you were to buy the Imperial Edition, it's $20. So you're going to pay $60 for the game, plus an additional $20 for the Imperial Edition, which gives you a, what was it, some kind of pet thingy. It gives you the ability to play the Imperial class in any group or faction or whatever. It also gives you, I think, the Rings of Mara, which allows you to have some kind of wedding ceremony with another player. You get some kind of XP boost. Also, you get the White Imperial Horse, which I was riding around on. You see other people riding around on that thing too. But you'd have to pay 1 gold for that White Imperial Horse. But there's also like a $15 monthly fee. So the first month that you get this game now, you will pay $60 for the game, $20 to upgrade it to the Imperial, and then $15 for the month of play. So that's right there, you're spending $95 just on this game. This game seems like it's designed to just rob people of money. So, yeah. There's good things about it, but there's also bad things about it. If they fixed the bad things, if they went to a free-to-play and just had the cash shop and went, okay, we have a cash shop, here's some items that you can use for in the game, like, I don't know, you can add some kind of item that makes it so that if your crafting attempt fails for an upgrade, kind of like what they did in another game I played. They had some kind of item that if you went to upgrade your weapons and armor and the crafting and the upgrade attempt failed, you would be able to keep the item, but you would lose the materials needed to upgrade it for that upgrade attempt. If they did that, that would be great. They can use that as part of the cash shop. I don't care. You can actually have it at 90% success rate and still fail repeatedly for the crafting attempt. So that would be great to have, to not lose the item. Other ideas that would be great would be to just in general look at other MMOs that are out there, take some of those ideas, improve upon them, and then come up with some of your own. They could do so much more with this, and it's just like it's built upon mediocrity. So I hope that they do something about their mediocrity. I mean, they had some Adventure Zone that was supposed to come out first patch of the game. It is now a month later. They have had a patch every single week, and no Adventure Zone. It keeps getting postponed. So I hope that gets fixed, and they do release it, because I would like to actually play in one of those. So rate, comment, let me know your thoughts on this. Pretty sure it's just gonna be a bunch of rambling on my part. Also, I'm really reaching 100 videos on my channel, so I'm hoping to get some ideas from people on what you would like to see for the 100th video on my channel. Take care, and I might see you in game. Later.